What's up, everybody? This is Kung Fu Eddy BAYBEE, representing the Bay Propaganda Wrestling Podcast and talking to Eddy BAYBEE. And I'm in Dallas for Fan Expo, baby. I had a long trip with a lot of the usual questionable things that happened to me. So, first things first, I'm taking public transportation. I took a bus to get here because your boy's too old to drive now. Can't do 5 hours back in the day like I used to. Man, me, Front Row Phil, and the other homies, we have stories of our travels. And safe to say, we're retired now. Me personally, especially driving. Right now, I'm trying to find my hotel. So let's pause for the cause. Whoop. All right. Ooh. I finally checked in my hotel. Ooh, that's a booger. Ew, boogers. Yeah. All right. So I finally checked into my hotel. Not the best, but whatever. Anyway, saving money, y'all. Don't judge me. One day y'all see me shine. So yeah. First things first. I took a Greyhound to get here. That one was fine. I just wish, as a big boy, I had more room. But, you know, it is what it is. And then I wanted to take another bus. Easy. $3. Point A to point B. 5-minute walks between. Cool. Not that much. I could do that. I picked up the right bus. Perfect. But the guy stopped and he was just like, hey, are you going to go to this direction? I just said, I don't know. It just says McKinney something. Here's the map. He's like, oh, no. That's not me. Like, that's the other bus. You got to wait. I was like, all right, cool. How long do I have to wait? An hour. I can't do that. I got things to do. I got places to be, especially at Fan Expo. It's 3. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, 3:49. So I gotta be at Fan Expo, in 10 minutes. They open at 4. So yeah. So I had to wait an hour, and within that hour, I got a Slurpee from 7-Eleven. Cool, beautiful. And then a homeless guy peed next to me. Yep, you heard it correctly. A homeless man peed next to me. No shame, nothing, obviously a lot of mental health, so my heart goes out to that guy. Hopefully he gets the help or whatever happens. There was a bathroom like in one block. One block there was a bathroom. Again, mental health. Please prioritize yourself at mental health. All right, so come to find out, now the bus that I needed was the same bus driver that told me to wait for an hour. I told him, hey, you're 209 now, right? No, he's like, no, I'm 207 now. I'm like, what? I'm waiting for 209. And I showed him the map again. He's like, oh, man, you should have been with me. I was with you. You told me to leave. You're a local. I'm just a visitor. I listen to locals. Locals rhyme with locals because that's what you're making yourself look like. He felt bad, so he gave me a bus ticket for free for all day tomorrow. So, yay me. So, I guess time is money, and I wasted an hour to save $6 or $9. Bear, back and forth, whatever. Anyways, today and tomorrow I have free bus pass. Beautiful. Now I checked into my hotel. Honestly, I don't even feel like going to Fan Expo, but I think I should because it is my duty. I gotta show you guys the beautiful exhibits of Fan Expo. Fan Expo has been blessing me. This is the second time that they invited me. The first time, don't want to go into deep details why I didn't record or show off what I was looking for. Hopefully one day I'll share with you guys. Until then, second time, I want to show you guys. As you can see, I'm by myself, so it's gonna be a weird way to record, but it's something that I'm looking forward to. So hopefully I have some ideas brewing in my little head that I could make this entertaining as possible. So you'll find out if I'm going to Fan Expo in 3, 2, 1. Whew. It's hot at the up. It's hot. But your boy's riding a scooter, and I'm in the area where JFK got shot. Yeah. Little grass area. Yeah. That's where the president got shot. It's crazy. Can I say shot? Ah, it's too late. I'll bleep it out.
Yeah. I don't know. People always want to pull on it.
First day at Fan Expo. Guess what I found? Got some spottings. Got some dangerous men over here. They see some shit.
Amity is a summer town. We need summer dollars. If people can't swim here, they'll be glad to swim at the beach.
Last question. I was about to ask a similar question regarding, like, you know, I also want to be a voice actor someday too, and of course, the tips you gave were, of course, useful. So, anyways, my question is, what do you think Ash's music taste will be?
I actually really like this question. Music taste.
What would Ash's music taste?
Yeah.
I want to say like lo-fi.
I can see that.
Yeah, like he's like a chill Zen dude. And it gets really active, and maybe in those moments, like it gets like a high octane kind of rock situation going.
I can see that.
But I think he chills out like when he's like going through the woods. I think he's chilling.
I can see that. I can see that. In my brain, I was thinking, oh, lo-fi. It's like, oh, you study, but if you remember in Sun and Moon, Ash fails to study. But there was that one episode in Sun and Moon where Ash was like preparing for like a project, but he fails it. So I assume he'd suck at studying. So that's why I was like, oh. And then you said about wandering around, traveling with lo-fi music. I'm like, oh, that's a great job.
Maybe he has other talents, not super great at studying.
Maybe that's what he's discovering as he's off on his own journey.
Yes, he's got talent.
Yeah.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you.
Hello again.
Which of Ash's
Which is Ash's
Teams?
Yeah, like his companions. I would say with Serena, yeah, XY. Oh, his Pokemon. I'm sorry. Oh God, it's becoming a blur. I'm losing that. I gotta go back. I don't remember now. I remember I loved Apom.
Looked it up. Very cute.
Yeah,
Good choice.
It's a really cute one.
Yeah.
But that last team was really great too. Yeah, Gengar. Yeah, maybe the last team. But maybe that's because recency,
Thank you, friend.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. If you were a Pokemon, which Pokemon?
Yay!
And which one do you relate to the most?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful question. I like Meloetta because Meloetta sings. I also like Charizard because it flies and sets fire.
Also, how's the
It's coming. Don't worry about it.
It's really good, guys.
It looks really good.
Really good.
I know you recorded separate, but did you ever meet Sean Schimmel when you were working in New York, when he was still in New York before he moved
Yeah,
out?
no, I see him around the cons. Yeah. Oh, that's
Awesome.
true.
I love Sean Schimmel. I love the way he speaks and everything. He's like,
It's cool.
hey, I'm Sean Schimmel. Hi, I'm Sean Schimmel. I'm the voice of Goku.
Booming voice. Impression.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go, Vegeta.
I've never watched Dragon Ball, so now I feel like I have. Thank
Yeah,
goodness.
that's it.
Like head straight into voice acting?
No, yeah, I wanted to do film primarily, and I was 18 when I auditioned for this. I studied no voice acting. I didn't know what dubbing was, and I just happened to book it. I started acting when I was 12. I went to Lee Strasberg and did the whole program there, and then I did UCB. I did a lot of improv, comedy, and then I just happened to get really, really lucky really early on in my career, and here we are. Yeah. And now I'm auditioning for film and TV again. I took a long break.
That was going to be my next
Yeah.
question. What other work do you do?
Yeah, no, I'm auditioning for film and TV now. There's not much production, which is tough, but I'm reading for a couple of TV shows, some indie films, so hopefully that'll get back going. I'm back in acting classes, like intensive all the time, every day. Yeah, because
Never stop learning, right?
you never stop learning, and it's different. Voice acting is a little different. The imagination is the same. We all build worlds that don't exist in our brains and live in those worlds. So that I have, but with on camera and theater. I just did some plays in LA actually. I did Ethan Cohen and Michelle Silverstein. You have to memorize everything and keep it all in your head.
Yeah, that's
So
so
that's
difficult.
different. Yeah, it's coming. It's all coming back to me, which is great. So we'll see.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
Thank you so much.
We've got about 5 minutes left, my friends. 5 minutes. To our last question, thank you.
I'll look them up.
Okay.
Good question. Good stumper. Yeah.
First, which was your favorite Team Rocket Pokemon? Mine's Bulbasaur.
That reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not including
I got a
that.
soft spot. Not including you?
Not including
Boba
that.
Fett.
But-
Boba Fett.
Eventually.
Great.
On the second one, how did you feel like through the entire series they didn't really give Ash that father figure up until like Sun and Moon?
I
When
know.
they filmed it and they introduced the professor and then he got his girl and they had a baby. It kind of
Yes.
made it seem
Yes.
like a
Yes.
family.
Yes.
Like, how did you feel when they introduced that into the story?
That was awesome and needed.
Yeah,
Needed.
yeah.
Yeah, we got Ash. Like, I really loved Ash interacting with like kind of generic environments like that, like environments that we all find ourselves in, like school. That was really, I have such an affinity for, like when I was a kid, I loved watching shows that took place in schools. So I loved like Hey Arnold and Magic School Bus, like anything that like let me relate to the school experience, because I didn't like school. That was like, Recess was great, yeah. So yeah, I loved Sun and Moon for that.
One more.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Brock never hooking up with never getting married? I thought they hooked him up with they were gonna finally like finish off the story, but
He's a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
Everyone, let's give it up for our amazing guest star now. The tables are 9 o'clock, right?
And 1, 2, 3.
Phoenix Morales, I choose you! That was good. Well done, guys.
Adrenaline in my soul, something, Cody Rhodes is gonna come for you. Alrighty, day 2 of Fan Expo, baby. So, your boy's still taking public transportation, like I said. I got a bus pass for the weekend, mainly today and yesterday. So tomorrow, I'm probably gonna have to pay out of pocket, which is cool. I mean, no big deal, $3. You know, trying to save every penny I got. Today I'm gonna meet some goat batties. That's the one thing negative about going to an expo using public transportation or as little sun as possible, because your boy's sweating. Ooh. See, even like oh my god, yo, look at all the sweat, the underboob sweat. Hey, yo, you know that's only for Fan Expo. My bad, y'all. Anyways, so yeah, your boy's sweating. Luckily, I got the American Nightmare shirt, jersey that I got at WrestleMania 40 from Rofil. So my goal is to make sure I do not smell, because as you saw from the last vlog that I did at Comicpalooza, some girls don't want y'all to stink. So come on, fellas. If y'all could afford Comic-Con, y'all could afford deodorant. If y'all can afford these collectibles, statues, title belts, y'all could afford deodorant, lotion, y'all could afford cologne. Like, man, I still remember the first time. Well, before I tell you my first time I started truly wearing deodorant, because every little boy has that stank the first time. So a lady told me, because she raised 4 boys. You know, she had 4 boys, nothing but boys, and she said that her house always stank. But the time they stop stinking is when they're teenagers. Guess what? Girls. The moment a girl likes you, you're gonna start wearing deodorant. The moment a girl is attracted to you, you're gonna start wearing cologne. And when she said that, I was like, yo, that is so true. Because back to my story, when I started taking deodorant and cologne, lotion serious, is when a girl started liking me in middle school. And I told this to front row Phil, because he has 2 boys, and he's like, well, that's true, you know. Luckily none of them like them, so they still smell. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to my brothers from another father. Anyways, so yeah, I'm excited. I feel like this might be a short vlog because I am by myself, and I don't know if I have any interview opportunities that I could sink my teeth into. Not because I don't want to talk to them, it's because I feel like if they're gonna be busy, and with Fan Expo, I feel like you gotta have permission, And unlike the trading card game con, the first one that I did with you guys, that one was easily accessible. Like, I had to pay at least 2 people, but honestly, it was kind of worth it. It wasn't a lot. Some of them just asked, like, hey, just buy one of my 8x10s. Others just like, nah, well, technically this is a video, so technically this price. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna say who is who, because at the end of the day, I had so much fun with them, so I didn't think about the price that I paid for those interviews. Some of them were free. I mean, again, some of them were just happy to be talked to, because again, some people either get a ton of visits one day and then they get no visits one day, so they get bored. So they're like, some of them will be like, hey, yeah, man, let's do an interview, whatever, fuck it, So I'm gonna try to see if I could do that today. I'm gonna ask permission just to be respectful, just to make sure that I earn my place here at Fan Expo, because again, this is my second time doing it. First time, it didn't go so well for personal reasons, but the second time, I feel good. Like I said, I wish I had somebody. I wish I had Mama Eddy, which Mama Eddy, love you, thank you, muchas gracias por dejarme venir aquí y disfrutar este fin de semana. And I wish I had front row Phil, but again, he had to be a family man. Everybody got to be a family man. You see, that's the price I gotta pay for being single and no kids. Either or, I'm still gonna enjoy my life. I'm gonna enjoy my vlog. So let's go. everybody? This is Kung Fu Eddy, BAYBEE, representing the Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast and talking to Eddy, baby. And I'm here with a very special guest. Just because you don't recognize the face doesn't mean you can't recognize the voice. That's a little clue for you. Miss Lenore Zane, BAYBEE. How are you doing today?
Well, Kung Fu Eddy, I'm doing just fine, sugar.
See, that's all I needed. Interview over. That's all I needed. Once somebody calls me sugar, I'm from the South, so I feel that. I feel that. So, speaking of your iconic role as Rogue, when did you get this opportunity back in the early '90s? How was that?
Oh my goodness! Well, back in the '90s, I was doing a lot of film and television and theater, live theater.
Yeah.
I'd just come back to Toronto from doing a play for about 9 months in New York off
so
Broadway,
cool.
and the year before that in Chicago. So I've been doing theater, and then my agent asked me to go do an audition for this animated show, and she said they're looking for somebody with a husky, low, sexy voice who can do a Southern accent.
Yeah. See what I mean?
And so I said, okay, but I didn't go to the first auditions.
Okay.
I missed them. I wasn't that keen on doing just animation at that time.
Yeah.
But then a month later or so, she called me again and said, Lenore, they're having callbacks for that same show I told you about. They haven't found the right actress for the part because I know it's you.
Yeah.
So she said, get your ass in gear and get down there.
Let's put you to work. Let's get you to work. Get in the
so
booth.
I did. I got in the booth, I put the headphones on, and I had one little paragraph to read, and it was, my daddy liked to kill himself when he found out I was a mutant. I remember I had me a boyfriend when I was 13. Had me a boyfriend till I kissed him. Poor boy went into a coma for 3 days.
And that is a very iconic scene because, again, the introduction of an iconic character, it has to be that first line.
Right.
It has to be that first image. And that line, it goes to show you what the story was going to be about.
Right. So that was it.
So
the producers in LA were screaming on the headphones going, don't let her leave. That's Rogue. That's the voice. That's
So
how it all happened.
That's amazing. And I'm glad they didn't let you leave because you played the character for not only 5 seasons, but for the recent X-Men 97 series, which, my God, if you have not watched it, you need to watch it now. Because the storyline, you can tell that in the 90s, it was like that little baby, like premature coming up in age.
Yeah.
But like 97, you can tell we're all grown up. And we're telling grown stories. Because not only did I like your character, I like the storyline of the love triangle between yourself, Gambit, and Magneto.
Okay.
First of all, we call that the honey dip. She was bringing the honey dips. So how did you...
I like a little spice with my sugar.
Yes. So how did you get that opportunity back at it again? Did they call you or you called them?
No, they called me.
So again, not only did you make the first impression back in the early 90s, they want to keep that momentum going with the series.
Correct,
Yeah,
yes.
that's awesome.
And I had actually stopped acting for about 12 years before that because I went into politics in Canada.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I ran
That was
for
not part of
election.
my Googles.
Yeah, I ran in for election and I won 4 elections in a row. So I was a congresswoman, but in Canada, so I was a member of parliament, for instance, working with Prime Minister Trudeau.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's you're just a woman of many talents. So you went to that Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jesse Ventura round. Like, I'm going to do some acting, now I'm going to get into politics.
Or Clint Eastwood. He went
Clint,
into
that's another one, yes,
politics for a while, right?
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. I felt like I wanted to change the world, make it a better place.
That's all you got to do.
So that's what I did for 12 years.
Love it.
And now I'm back being a superhero again.
Well, you're a superhero not only in the booth, but also in politics as well. Because you got to make a difference, not only to yourself, but to the community.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Now, my final question is, how much of yourself is in Rogue? Because again, like the Rogue character has always been in comics way before you even showed up. But is there any ways that yourself is connected to the character?
Yeah, I mean, I put all my all into Rogue. Everything that I am, I put into her. You know, when I was younger in my 20s, I was traveling around, roaming around the world, trying to figure out where did I belong, where did I fit, feeling like I was different and not really knowing why I'm here, what's my purpose. And then, you know, I finally found my purpose. And then I went into politics, which was another purpose. So Rogue is constantly looking for that too, like where do I fit in? And you know, she's sort of in between worlds, and she's also very lonely, and I was very, very lonely.
That's the part that really hits me the most, because I'm going through that myself. It's just this lonely path of warrior. That's why I'm doing this podcast, just to keep my mind busy.
Right.
That's why I'm at the gym grinding every day. That's why I'm working. I'm also making the difference working with senior citizens, and even in my early jobs, I was a swim instructor, making a difference for little kids as well.
Fantastic! That's so great.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for doing that.
Of course. And before we finish this episode, this little clip, fun fact about you and I.
Yes.
We share the same birthday.
Dude, November 22nd.
Yep, 93.
Wow.
I'm not gonna ask you for your year. I'm not gonna ask. I'm a gentleman.
Yes.
I don't ask for the year.
Yes,
So we are both turkey babies, as according to my mother.
Turkey babies. That's funny. Well, we are on the cusp between Scorpio and Sagittarius.
Yeah, I don't follow that, especially now that like I'm in the borderline of either Scorpio or Sagittarius. I'm like, all right, you know what?
We're right on the cusp. It's a good thing.
Oh, okay,
We're
it's a good
very
thing.
deep. We're loyal.
See?
We're passionate. We're sexual, but we're also playboy of the Western world, where we're like we get along with everybody. We like traveling. We like exploring and new things, and we're very friendly and outgoing.
You see, to all the girls that left me, there you go. That's an example of what kind of man I am. Thank you so much for joining Kung Fu Eddy, baby.
Eddy, baby.
Appreciate you.
Sugar.
What's up, everybody? This is Kung Fu Eddy, baby. Back at it again here at Fan Expo, and I'm here with a legend here. You want to introduce? Oh my God! You see, what an introduction! You see, I don't have to do the rest. Mr. Tony Daniels, baby. So
nice to be with you, man.
Oh man, it's that Southern Creole accent, baby.
Let's get that down, because when you come to Louisiana, we're gonna have some crawfish and jambalaya. We're gonna make a bowl out of you.
Dude, can we just talk about how much you're working today?
Why don't we talk about Storm? Right
Dude,
there.
oh my goodness, there's Storm. There's one of your teammates. Man, you out here working, grinding. Dude, how much does the fans love you, man?
No, the fans are amazing. We love it. I'm here with my partner. You see her.
Yeah.
Oh, Sugar Cakes.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm saying, no, that's Lenore Zan, who plays Rogue. And I've known Rogue for, well, I've known Lenore longer than I've known Rogue, but we worked together in the original X-Men series.
Yeah.
I actually started playing Bobby LeBeau, Remy LeBeau's brother.
Oh, okay.
While Chris Potter played Gambit originally. And And then I was doing all these other characters, and then Chris left the show, and they go, "You're Gambit." Just like that.
There you go.
And then I ended up playing Gambit for like 9 years in the video games, in the last couple of seasons of X-Men before 97 was evoked.
Okay.
And then, so if you ever played all those video games, which you did, didn't you? Street Fighter versus X-Men.
Man, in the arcades?
Boom. In the arcades. We was there, we was kicking it back, and Capcom and Activision and stuff, so it was good. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. So, not only did you play this legendary character, Gambit, you also played Jaded for Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon, Jedi
and you're also
290 other characters.
Oh my goodness! If I list all of your characters that you played, that's
basically for 4 hours.
That's basically my interview. That's an
true.
Interview, a bonus, Patreon special,
and a car accident. All rolled into one.
Oh Lord, let's avoid that one.
Since 2005, I've been doing Tony. We don't even have to say his last name.
Dude, I'm telling you, and that's great. Pun intended.
That's my line. I'm going to stab him with a pen.
Yeah,
it won't hurt.
He's going to send the cease and desist. That's it. Game over.
Yeah.
Man, so how did you get started with this voice acting game, man?
Well, that was kind of a weird thing because I was a musician by the time I was professional, that is, by the time I was 11, 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And I was playing with these different bands, and this guy came in one day, and I had a voice. This was my voice when I was 11. I actually had to study opera to get a higher voice to do cartoons. But this man came in, and he was had a radio show, and he goes, "Hi, my name's Shotgun Tom Rivers. I want you on my radio show. Bring your guitar." And I brought my guitar and I played. And I went, man, I want to do radio because I had such a good time with him. So I ended up being an intern at the radio station, and that's where it all started. And then, fast forward, I had a TV series. I was the first guy to play rock videos in North America on TV before there was an MTV or a Much Music or anything.
Wow.
And then this guy, a friend of mine, he asked me to be in to do technical work on a play he was doing. And the following year, I was a teenager. The following year, he put me into the next play, and I played a bunch of characters, and the acting world just started really blossoming from there.
Wow, that's truly amazing.
Right place, right time, right?
That's all it is. Right place, right time. And like I talked about in the beginning, you're hustling. So guarantee you with all these characters that you've been doing, like what inspiration comes to you with each character, or do you let the script dictate your that voice?
Script can take you there. The pictures they send you sometimes could take you there, and sometimes just an instinct of, hey, I can do this, and maybe I'll make it sound good, you know, or look good. So it's hard to say if it's any one thing. You know, it all depends on the show. And sometimes the show has already got its tone set. If you're there from the beginning of a show, that's when things can get developed. And a lot of times, even with like X-Men, we had the beautiful, wonderful person, Karen Gura, was the casting director along with Dan Hennessy, who directed us. He was amazing. And in my first audition, right at the beginning, before we even went into the studio, they really helped set the tone. So that also helps when you have a good director, casting director.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. Again, it's like one of those things that we talked about, like getting recast or taking over a role, because like you stated before, like you weren't not the original Gambit in the first 4 seasons, but you took it over at season 5.
Yeah.
Was there any like pressure from you for that?
No. I'm the king of replacements, boy. No,
you said I'll take your job.
I've done so much. Knock on wood. ADR. I've played everyone in film and TV. Like when an actor's not available, they'll call a guy like me, and I played everybody from Al Pacino to actually for Jonathan Frakes just now. I did a Patrick Stewart for me. Loved it.
Wow,
it was fantastic, really. So I've ADR'd for Pat Stewart. Walking, people crazy, that's stuff. And so I've done hundreds, literally 675 or 80, somewhere around there.
God.
Yeah.
And like, what is your secret? Because again, as you know, as a kid, you get your parents to. That's it. Listen, there you go.
It's the ear. It is the ear. But yeah, no, you're gonna say you get your
like
parents.
you get your parents to read you a bedtime story, and they make noises for you. And then as a child, you start doing all those voices of your own. Nope.
My parents wouldn't read bedtime stories. My father was born in Malta. He was a Sicilian Arab mix, like black, Asian, and do your 23andMe. You'll freak out when you find out. And my mom, never any bedtime stories because they were too tired, man. They worked their ass off. Yeah, we were poor when we first, when we were first growing up. My parents we had a loving home, and we're lucky where a lot of people don't have that. So, yeah.
But you don't let that stop you because you were grinding. You hustled yourself to the top of the legacy.
Thank you. Well, again, it came from the music. That's really it. Even Lenore's a great singer. Lenore, who plays Rogue, she's an amazing singer, and I just love her. We might do a Gambit and Rogue album. I don't know. I've been talking to her.
I will love it. That was so very well in the South.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. So
you're a Southern boy.
Born and raised, Houston, Texas, baby.
That's barbecue this side of Lubbock.
Oh man, Papa Bros, shout out to y'all. So my final question is there any character that is really related to yourself or something that's close to it that it was so easy to adapt?
A lot of them. I mean, even when I was cast as Hawkeye, I just loved playing it because I had just spent time with one of my fave cousins, and he was an expert with a compound bow, and he took me out, and the first shot I ever took, boom, bullseye, and he was like, all right, that's a fluke. Do it again. Boom, bullseye. And he goes, dude, that's amazing. I go, this is cool because I'm going to be playing Hawkeye, Clint Barton, and that's what he is famous for, right? The bow. Boom.
That's
And
awesome.
so that was really cool. But as far as the rest go, it's like you always find something in yourself to bring to the character. And when you're actually replacing other characters in movies and film and animation and TV, you actually have to channel what that actor's doing and bring that into your read. Like when I did Christoph Waltz in Tulip Fever, you know, it has to sound like him. In order to sound like him, you have to have the emotions that are going on in his head going on in yours at the same time. And it's not easy, but you do it. We got guests.
We got guests. So this is where we end our interview. Thank you for talking to Kung Fu Eddy, baby.
Now remember one thing, Kung Fu Eddy. Did you ever watch The Get Down?
The Get Down.
Oh, I got to get you turned on to that. They created a character for me. There was a character in there called Shaolin Fantastic. And then they created this character so I could do his intro and be like, "You're watching Shaolin Fantastic."
Was The Get Down, was that in the Netflix? I think I've seen it. It was like based off Brooklyn. It's like that. Yeah, I saw it. Man, it was a long time ago.
I was working with a bunch of young bloods. They were cool, man. They were so cool.
Man, now I gotta rewatch it. Well, again,
you know it. You're with Kung Fu Eddy. He will fight you to the death.
That's it, man. Thank you for talking to Kung Fu Eddy, baby. Alrighty, we've seen a lot of cosplay, but this one right here is my favorite right there. So we're gonna ask my man here, what's your advice about taking a lonely road and trying to figure out your life?
Taking a lonely road and trying to figure out your life, I would say just be true to yourself, be a kind human, and just do the best that you can and have fun along the way.
There you go, man.
I love you and I'm proud of you.
There you go. That's one thing I'll never hear from certain family members, but you could always hear from lovely strangers like this guy right here.
Dad loves you.
There you go. You want to promote your stuff right now?
I'm Dad from Ask a Dad Anything. I am primarily on Instagram and TikTok. You can look me up. I think he's going to link me.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
I love him. And let me tell you a dad joke.
Right,
so I took this beginning introductory class on engraving. There's so much to learn. I have barely scratched the surface. Love you, proud of you. Call your mother.
I will now. Thank you. Ooh-wee. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't think I was gonna interview anybody. I was gonna come in, do some vlogs, show off some people's cosplay, record the city, just to make this a memorable vlog. But again, shout out to Fan Expo, shout out to you guys that giving me the opportunity for your viewership. Again, shout out to Tony Daniel, shout out to Lenore Zan for giving me the opportunity to interview guys. Because last year was a challenge, and again, I'm not gonna get into it because that's in the past. As you can see, I'm wearing my sunglasses because my future's pretty bright with this podcast vlog game. You see, they're excited back there. Let's keep it going, baby. Alrighty, I am back at Fan Expo on a Sunday. Let's see what I can do. I feel like I've done enough. that I feel like I'll be satisfied with my vlog, but at the same time, you never know. And plus, my bus doesn't get here till 5, so I have at least 6 hours to spare, you know? So, you know, here we go. Again, I appreciate Fan Expo. Shout out to Dana for giving me an opportunity with you guys again. Last year I did my best, but my heart, my mindset wasn't in there, but this time it is, and you can tell the difference. And I appreciate Lenore and Tony for me to interview them. Can we point out, if y'all were paying attention to the Tony interview, he was doing the get down. What was it? The Netflix? I forgot. You know, I should be a professional podcaster, right? I should review it and then let you know. But when he was doing the last voice, if you notice it, I'm gonna clip it after I point it out. His lips barely move, but you can hear the voice. You can still hear the sentence or whatever, but his lips barely move. I was in total shock when I saw that, because I like to review, I like to put things together before I edit and all that stuff. I like to put them all together and then edit them out and chop it up as best as I could. But did y'all notice that? Here, I'm gonna put it right here.
Well, again,
you know it. With Kung Fu Eddy, he will fight you to the death.
See? Did y'all see that? It was so cool, man. So again, shout out to him, shout out to Lenore. I don't know if I'm gonna get interviews today, but I'm gonna do my best, and then, you know, if something happens, cool. If something doesn't happen, then, you know, like I said, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm just here to grow. I'm here to enjoy this beautiful event. Again, shout out to Fan Expo, shout out to Dana for giving me the opportunity. And let's do it in 3, 2, 1.
feel like, no, it varies from thing to thing. Like, I'm a big comic book collector, so I've been reading a lot of comics recently. But like, there's a lot of good TV shows out these days. I just recently finished, I don't know if anybody watches this, but there's a show Ghosts. It's on CBS, and it's like Circle Plus and stuff like that. Like, I love Ghosts. Kristen, my wife, and I watch it. And season 3 just finished. That was really fun. And now apparently Godzilla -1 is on Netflix, and I'm probably gonna spend the rest of my life just watching that movie over and over again because it was so good. I saw it in theaters, and I've been dying. Like, I've literally Googled multiple times, like, when is Godzilla -1 going to be on Blu-ray, just so I could buy that movie. And And so for it to just sort of get shadow dropped on Netflix last week or so, I was like, what?
Right.
So yeah, so it sort of depends.
Yeah, very good choice.
Yeah, I think mine would hands down probably be television. I think they're doing amazing things with that medium. The storytelling that can happen from a small vignette, 6-episode type of thing to a 12 or more episode. I just think I think we like to live with characters a little bit longer.
Yes.
And it's harder to, it's hard. Like there's been some great films out too, but film is changing in a way in order to kind of keep up with the demand of what television is doing. But I just watched Shogun on Hulu, which, oh God, it's such a good series. It's so good, man. The acting in it is amazing. But anyway, yeah, I'm a big television fan.
Same. What is
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that, the purpose of the rival character is to eventually be humbled, as we have seen in other past shonen series. But even then, I never expected it to be how it has been, and yet to be so, I guess, realistic, for lack of a better term, right? Because, when Vegeta acknowledges that Goku is the superior one at the end of Dragon Ball Z, they're on a different planet, they're fighting against Majin Buu, Goku's Super Saiyan 3, his hair's stupid long. There's nothing realistic about the moment where Vegeta's like, "You're the best, Kakarot," whatever. But, for Bakugo's growth to be that's like a real teenager goes through that, a real young adult goes through that sort of those realizations, and and apologizing and these sorts of things, and learning hey, I'm not the person I was back then, you're not the person you were back then. So I mean, it's really incredible that this show that is established in being so supernatural and beyond what is the normal human element is so grounded in the normal human element.
Yeah.
Season 6 was definitely my favorite season of the show. But my favorite thing in all of it is still, as of right now, the second movie.
Oh my, yes. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, Heroes Rising is so good. I love that movie. It's so good. So Heroes Rising is my favorite thing of all of it. But season 6, if we're talking about specifically just within the show and the seasons, season 6, everybody brought their A game.
Yeah, I think for same. I mean, my initial favorite season was season 2, just because of what we learned about Shoto and the sports festival fight and his growth that started then. But season 6 is my new favorite season. I was so amped up to do the content that was coming in that. That when I got, and no spoilers, but when I got to a certain episode, a certain confrontation, a certain fight, or the beginning of a fight, I was so amped up that I came in and started, we did one of the first lines, and I was at if we're doing 1 to 10, I was at a 14, and the director had to be like, okay, all right, bring it, we gotta start, you gotta start somewhere, let's start it at 8. So, but it was just me, the actor, dude, we're here, I've been waiting I knew about this moment for 2 years, let's go, so yeah, season 6. So sometimes we get asked this, and honestly, my real answer here is, I wouldn't want to voice any other character. I mean, I've not been in a show like here. I was talking to somebody at my table yesterday. Everybody is so good, and I mean it. I'm not someone to just give out a bunch of random compliments. The people are really talented. The actors are amazing. They're committed and inspired, and their voices are so right for the roles. I think it's one of the reasons that Colleen, the original director, did such an amazing job of casting it. I just can't even imagine So that's my real answer. My fun answer is I would just love to do random one-off. Like I would love to like be Fat Gum. I don't know. Or I don't know, some wacky take on All Might with like some crazy higher voice. Who knows? But yeah, there's nothing that when I watch the show, there's nothing that I go like, I wish I was voicing that. It's never happened, and it will never happen.
I mean, I'm the same. I already voiced the best character, so I'm not gonna voice the worst character. You know, so.
I just liked it because of who Bakugo is. You can just say that every time. Yeah. And it's right. Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hi, this question is for Cliff.
Hi.
Also not my hero question. What was your experience like joining the Kaguya-sama Love is War voice team with Shirogane in season 3?
Oh, it was awful. No, I mean, that was a whole thing. So just for the backstory on that, if you guys don't know, Miyuki Shirogane is voiced by Aaron Dismuke in the English dub of Kaguya-sama Love is War. And a few years ago now, I guess it was 2022, right? Was it 22? Yeah, geez, that does not feel that long ago. But he was in the process of recording multiple shows for reprisals, and one of them was Takagi-san, Master Teaser Takagi-san, where he plays like a young kid who's real high-strung, and he, that was being done for Sentai, and Sentai has a different method of recording, and maybe that voice wasn't the best for that method of recording, because it fried his voice. He hurt himself really, really bad. And so he couldn't reprise Miyuki Shirogane for Kaguya-sama, and so it was kind of funny because I got the email that it went out that was like, we're looking for a voice match for this thing, and I got the email, I looked at it on my phone, and I went, nope, and like, I was like, I don't sound like Dismuke. Who sounds like Dismuke? You know, nobody. And so then later in the day, I got a text from Colleen, because Colleen was a producer for Crunchyroll Funimation at the time. And she was like, hey, did you get the email for the audition for Shirogane? And I was like, yeah, why? And she goes, could you do it? Because all the auditions we got are really bad. And I was like, all right, fine. And so like I did a thing, like whatever, and I guess Aaron was involved with it, and he was like, yes, use Cliff, because I understood the comedy, even though I couldn't tell you a single thing about the show, I hadn't watched any of it, but I understood the comedic timing and stuff like that. And so they were like, great, Aaron's healing his voice. You're just gonna cover for like 4 to 6 weeks, okay? So 12 weeks later, I dumped my and it was just crazy, because like I kept waiting. I was like, is Aaron ever gonna get better? But like the healing process that he was going through for his voice, like how badly he messed up his voice, I mean, it tanked him for the entire season. And it became a whole thing, because like I played like a small character in season 2 of Kaguya-sama for like 1 episode, who is all over the 3rd season. So then they were like, well, we can't have Cliff voice his own character next to him voicing Aaron's character. So then my character got voice matched. And so then like later, I had to go back and re-record all of my character's lines as Aaron was re-recording his, which was really funny to listen to when they would like place my lines, because then it was me talking to me. And like, it was a crazy, crazy thing. And I had to do the rap. And like, it was just, I'm like, I don't know anything about it, because like I never watched the show, because I kept expecting Aaron to come back and play the part. And so I was very happy to have been able to help my friend, because I love Aaron Dismuke very dearly. I was very happy to help him out of a bind. But he was, it was funny, because then later, I think last year he was in like Australia for a convention or something like that. And they sent a message to my agent to be like, can Cliff do a voice match of Aaron Dismuke on this 1 episode of something? And I wrote back, no! Like, they wanted me to do it, they could have cast me in Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I was very glad when Aaron actually got to come back and do the show, and that's and the movie too. Yeah, and the movie. And that got put on the Blu-ray, and it's on the streaming service and stuff now. And now my version is gone.
So I can't hear this rap, right?
It's on YouTube.
Well, that's all. Sorry, I don't care about the show. I just want to hear him rap.
It's an official clip that Crunchyroll posted. It's the only thing you'll ever hear that's
amazing.
Like it's like the only version of me that still exists because it's not on streaming service anymore either. Cool. So, yeah.
Good to know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm definitely emotional.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. You definitely have to for the time that you're working on it. And some are more attached than other, but like for the time that you're working on it, it's 100% you're there. But yes, I get emotionally attached. I mean, I did Buddy Daddies, and when we got to the end, I got more and more attached every week as we did 12 weeks and 12 episodes. And by the end, it was like 3 weeks of depression when I realized like, oh, they're not going to do a second season, you know? Or I don't think they are. So yeah, definitely, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Hi. So I'm really upset that the episode you directed did not actually get put in the season because that was a very, very funny episode.
You mean the bloopers?
Yes.
I mean, I directed the episode. It came out.
You did?
But those bloopers aren't in it.
Yeah, they can't do those.
Yeah.
That's why they're on a DVD.
Yeah. The licensor wouldn't let us do that. Yeah.
Since season 7 is now animated, so who do you actually think was the traitor? Me personally, I thought it was Expo.
Yeah, close your ears, guys, if you don't want to know.
He was staying out late. He was coming back early and always tired. So I was like,
I mean, they revealed the traitor.
Yeah.
Right.
well, who do you thought it was before?
I was
Who
right.
do you think was the traitor?
Just want everyone to know that.
You were right? Nice. Yeah, we shouldn't say who it is.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
We're not going to say who it is. And also, don't go on social media if you don't want spoilers. Ever. Like, delete your apps. I don't think I made a prediction. I mean, I was really enjoying talking to some of the voice actors that really wanted their character to be the traitor.
Kyle wanted Kaminari to be the
Dude,
traitor. So
Kyle, that's what I'm referencing. Kyle wanted it so bad. He was like, I think I'm the traitor. I think I could be the traitor. I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, I didn't really have a prediction.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, good question though.
I mean, it depends on how much they can do. But Bakugo. Bakugo can beat Vegeta. We all know.
Yeah.
Bakugo can beat Majin Buu. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Bakugo can beat Goku.
I believe it. I don't need to be convinced. I love that. Yes. Thank you, friend.
Yeah.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you.
All right, friends, this is going to be our last one since we started just a little bit.
Sorry, guys.
If you had to choose, both of you had to choose between the outfits of the characters you voice, which one would you wear for the rest of your life?
Period. Okay,
If you had to
fashion.
wear one of the outfits that our characters wear for the rest of our lives.
Bakugo or your Todoroki or the other characters you voice, which one of the outfits would you wear for the rest of your life?
Not
Oh,
Venus.
any character that we voiced? I mean, I'm just gonna go with Wolfwood. I mean, that suit, just chilling. It's not too tight, So, yeah, probably go with that. I thought you were gonna say of any of the Todoroki outfits, which one would I wear for the rest of my life? And I was like, maybe the school year. Yeah, I know, right? World Heroes Mission. Except I hate those shoes.
We're getting into deep stuff.
Yeah.
Wear a character's outfit for the rest of my life. I don't know. I mean, Cavan's got that skirt thing. It's probably pretty breezy. I like that. Yeah, he's got little shorts and a skirt. I don't know.
I wore a kilt recently. It's a very different experience.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you crossed your legs differently?
Yeah, I had a boot on, or had a cast on my leg. That's why I wore this kilt. Yeah. It was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Well, the more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everyone, let's give it up one more time.
I think we'll just be at our tables.
Yeah, I'll be here as long as people want to talk to me. Or the show closes. Yeah,
Whichever comes first. Thank you both again so much for being here today, and thank you for your comments.
Thanks, Olaf. Because after finding out that my son looked way too much like his uncle and not enough like me, you know, like any good Hans or Hansel knows, sometimes you gotta go out, change your whole perspective on things. Thank you very much, everybody. My name's Hans. I'm a local stand-up comedian here in the DFW area, and we're here today to talk about some of the funny aspects of the Star Wars universe, comedy in the Star Wars universe, both intentional and unintentional. And we've got a great guest panel here for you today. So without further ado, I take pride in my nerding abilities. Everybody, give it up for your Princess Leia of the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Melissa Riggs.
Hi, I'm very excited to be here today. I mean, as excited as I can be, I'm here with my dad, the Imperial Overlord, and the baby's daddy. This is about to be like Christmas Eve all over again. This is going to be, but I'm glad you could be here to go through it with me. I was getting ready to come today, and I realized for the first time that the Leia outfit, if you throw this over a dining room chair, it looks remarkably like a Klan hood. Disturbingly so. And my kids saw this, and they said, "Oh, Mom, we'll get ours." They have hooded towel things for bath time that also look disturbingly like Klan hoods. So I just came from a Klan rally on Endor. All right, to be here today, they're very excited. And we have a fun show for you guys. Do you guys, of course you like Star Wars, do you also like to laugh? Do you also like to have fun? Of course you do, that's why you're here. And that's what we're gonna do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darth Vader! I'm Darth Vader. I hate Tusken Raiders, the Jedi Council, and the Dallas Mavericks. Han, did you just get thawed out of some frozen carbonite, or do you always look like shit? Han shot first, by the way, everybody, which according to Leia happens all the time. And also according to Chewbacca, which is why he couldn't be here today. Thank you. Comedy of Star Wars. And so, I think, you know, we just kind of wanted to go through it. If you guys want to raise your hand and ask questions, please feel free. But, you know, just start off with the things that they actually tried to put in there. You know, like a Misa racial allegory. Misa did not do so well. Misa should have been left at one scene, but, you know, at least the kids laughed. Anything you got to say about Jar Jar? Over there, Darth Vader?
Stage 1 clinger, Jar Jar. I wish he didn't be in that movie, sir.
I think we have a question.
But what about Darth Jar Jar?
Well, the idea of Darth Jar Jar would be funny and hilarious. Like, we all know it. Like, the idea of seeing that idiot waving his lightsaber around and not cutting one of his ears off, like...
If I could do the voice, I would. I can't, but that would be amazing.
Somehow Misa was able to play dumb enough to make people believe that I could be behind it all.
What's up, everybody? This is Kung Fu Eddy BAYBEE, representing the Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast and talking to Eddy BAYBEE. And you know, here at Fan Expo, you could see a lot of independent artists, a lot of independent talent, hustling, grinding, trying to get their products out. And I'm here with a very special friend, Mr. Chichaba BAYBEE. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, man.
Would you like to introduce what you're promoting?
All right, our company, we're a publishing company. We specialize in African stories, African mythologies from creators all over the world.
All right, so what inspired you to start creating this type of stories?
It's a life journey, and we have been creators since we're way young. But we wanted to see more of African stories, black characters, a lot of inclusion in the mainstream.
Yeah, and back in the day, like we are inspired by so many other things, but it's always whitewash or it's white actors. Again, respectfully, whatever. But at the end of the day, we want to see ourselves in the big screen. We want to see ourselves on a TV series.
Yes, we need more diversity.
Yeah, diversity is the key because again, we are the consumers too. Our dollars matter too as well. So, would you like to introduce your first series for the stories?
Oh, okay, yeah. This is one of our newest series. It's called Charioba Casa de Jangora. Yeah, it's one of our best-selling series. As you can see, a lot of people are buying it over there. So it's something that we've been working on for so many years now. It's based on East African mythology. Yeah,
okay.
It's steeped in African culture. So the idea is to showcase this culture through these comic books.
All right, that's awesome.
Graphic novels, yes.
That's awesome. So how many years have you been doing this again?
Oh, we became full-time. We're incorporated full-time in the U.S. in 2019.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
but we've been doing it all our lives. Creating stories, building the brand and expanding the story. Because it takes a while to build the story.
Yeah. And most of the stories are there from like traditional.
Yes, they're all based on different African cultures, mythologies, folklore, tales. Yes.
And the part that really got to me, that you really sold it, is that some of y'all know I'm a big fan of Street Fighter. Street Fighter has always been my number one thing, and that's how you introduced the series to me.
Yeah, that's this one. It's created by Alexander Rudwitz. He's Nigerian. Yeah, he loves Street Fighter and he loves anime. So he wanted to create something that that's inclusive towards him. That's something that I would say something that kind of showcases his culture through those mediums. Indeed. Yeah, so this is show now. Yeah, it's action packed. It has a Street Fighter feel, and he actually drew it and wrote it himself. As you can see, he's a talented artist, and he wanted to create something that has to do with the cultures and yet has the Street Fighter feel and the anime, aesthetics.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I'm definitely gonna pick one of them up. Would you like to promote your brand to other people? And I'm gonna definitely put the link on the side right here.
Social media is Peda Comics, PEDA Comics. Website Peda Entertainment, PEDA Entertainment. Yes.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for talking to Kung Fu Eddy, baby. And we'll see you later.
I love when you do that.
You already know.
Yeah, I should raise my hand too. I actually should. So, Steve.
I counted 5 people.
Steve, what was your first entrance to Wolverine as a character? That serious? Oh my God, that's perfect.
100%.
That is perfect.
Those covers are just, they sell themselves.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Mr. Cho, what about you?
It was actually Paul Smith's X-Men, like 166. That was the first time I saw Wolverine, and then shortly back and reread Frank's Wolverine. So you kind of get that taste out of my mouth.
That is the way to do it. I think there's something very special about Wolverine maintaining this level of popularity over 50 years. What do you think, as storytellers that have worked with him, is the reason why he is enamored by so many different people?
It's really nasty. No, I mean, I think that he was introduced at a time when the people making the comics had to face up to the fact that people reading the comics were not just little kids anymore. In fact, they were largely adolescents and older, and that the comics that were being embraced more and more were ones that addressed more adolescent, concerns and more angst and drama and violence than what had come before. And Wolverine, in a way, was the apotheosis, much like the more extreme Electro where these were characters who did kill people and so on, and there was a mood for the gloves to come on.
I love it. That's fantastic. Do you guys want to add something to that? You're like, how do we follow Frank Miller? Like, get out of here. Do you read in terms of stories?
I mean, so I grew up reading comics and started collecting comics in 1983 to 1990. So my introduction to Wolverine was the Uncanny X-Men, the Claremont Paul Smith era.
Gotcha.
I just missed the John Burns era X-Men. So my Wolverine is the Paul Smith, the brown and tan costume.
That's right. We got some brown and tan love in here. Yes. Steve, what about you? Do you have a favorite era of Wolverine?
I really liked Barry Windsor Smith's Weapon X.
Yes.
That was gorgeous, like absolutely brilliant stuff. The art.
It was also like painfully gorgeous.
It was. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I think he colored himself as well, and he did all the dialogue balloons, so you could make these amazing layouts of pages. Yeah. If you took the dialogue balloons, you wouldn't know exactly which way to go.
So that was in the late 90s or early 90s, or was it late 80s?
That would be like right around
That was, as I recall, it was like early 80s, wasn't it?
I thought so. Yeah, I think it's early 80s. Mid 80s? It could be like right in that span.
I think it's like the 80s. I'm thinking 88, but
Okay.
Oh, is that late? Really?
Exactly. That's the Lone Wolf storyline in the Uncanny X-Men, and then he did Weapon X.
All right, somebody Google it. It's 50 years, people. It's a lot of stuff that is happening. I think the thing that I love, the legend that I heard, is that he did that totally on spec. Like, that wasn't an assignment. This was a story he came up with, wanted to tell, and then when he pitched it, they're like, well, I guess we could use this at some point. Not realizing it was totally finished from start to finish already when he brought it to Marvel, which I think is, like, that's powerful. Obviously, you can't do that today, but,
Okay, who figured that one?
Okay, let's hear the truth. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm here for. I want to know the real stories. Because I think Dan Slott and I were actually talking about that recently, and he's like, that's what I heard it was, and that's what I had heard it was. And so, do you have the truth, sir? Was he assigned this?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
It's just that what you're saying sounds ridiculous.
That's why it was so legendary. It was like, how did he pull that off? Like, that's insane. It's the legend. Google, people, Google. Let's find out. Illustrated Wolverine. How many times have you ever had to act out the claw-popping pose yourselves in order to capture it?
Every time.
Do you have like a photo collection of it? Let's be honest. Come on. You got it. I love it. Hello, friend. How are you doing?
Hi. I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. It really means a lot.
And my question is, what got you into comics, like drawing, and what happened?
It's a powerful question.
For my part, well, I'd say the very first thing, my first memories were as being a very young boy and watching cartoons that were actually made, way before I was born, of Superman by Max and Dave Fleischer. Just the famous cartoons that had an unbelievable level of quality, partly because they were financed by the United States War Department. That's what they used to call the Defense Department, and as part of the propaganda built up to World War II. And those were just the most astonishing cartoons. If any of you haven't seen them, see them. They hold up. They surpassed my memories the last time I saw them. And watching those and then reading superhero comics, I set the course of my career at the ripe old age of 5.
Make some noise for that, y'all. That's fantastic. It was 5. That's up. That's what it was. Hello.
Hello, my name is Rocky. First off, an honor to meet you, Mr. Frank Miller. Huge fan, and we're all happy you're here and everything. Yes, the best X-Men related question I could have as far as Wolverine is, of course, pretty much every X-Men film has had Wolverine in them. My personal favorite Wolverine film is Logan. I love that film to death. And what I'd like to ask you is, out of all the X-Men films or the Wolverine films, do you have a favorite film starring Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, or what's your personal favorite?
I don't. I actually have gone to see the movies, and I just go into, like I do with superhero movies, I just go in and I sit down and act like an audience. I don't feel like, is this an interpretation of my work, or this or that, the other thing. When it comes to Wolverine or the X-Men or so on, I just want to take it in. And so when I first saw Hugh Jackman, I went, well, geez, he's mighty tall. and a few scenes into it, I went, oh, he'll do just fine. Yep. It was just, I just let him wash over me, and I get a little more arch and stuff like that.
I like it.
Thank you.
Frank, what about you?
Actually, I was when they cast Hugh Jackman, I didn't know who he was, and then when I saw him, I was like, same thing. I was like, he's too tall to be Wolverine. So I always picture Wolverine to be like Ivan Putski from the Polish Hammer from the wrestling. He's this short, stocky guy, just a vicious guy, and then you see Hugh Jackman, he's this tall movie star. So I had to get used to him eventually. Then I thought his Wolverine in Logan, I thought was his best performance.
Steve? The same movie. Logan? Yeah. All right. I think I'm the odd man out. I think my favorite. That's quite all right. It's all good.
I actually have 2 questions, a short one and a long one. My first one is, whenever you make cameos in your work, whether they be movies or comic book, is there a reason why your character always gets brutally killed?
Wow.
Yeah, for you.
I usually request it. Come on, what's cooler than getting killed in a movie? With the exception would be in the Daredevil movie, where the director requested me as a guy who got a pen turned into his head.
Okay. What's the long question?
Sorry, I know Sin City was kind of a response to the growing superhero movie industry, kind of made to be unadaptable with this really, just incredible art whenever you were approached to make a film about the book that you tried to make kind of unadaptable, how did you feel about that? And also, how do you feel that Sin City has completely changed cinema and effects and things like that?
It's a great question.
With Sin City, I really got two words to say that pretty much answer your question. The words are Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, come on now.
Robert approached me to say that he wanted to adapt Sin City, and I turned him down. And it was, and then he, this was all through my agent, and I just said, please tell the gentleman that Sin City was done to not be adapted. It was, that's why it's one of the reasons why I control all the rights and everything. Like, I just didn't want it to be in the line of comics that were just done in order to make movies out of them. And I was just afraid that if it was adapted, it would end up just being homogenized and turn into something and basically that Sin City would be remembered as a movie that wasn't so good, rather than it was a comic book that was pretty good. I underestimated two entities here. I underestimated the movie industry, and I underestimated Robert Rodriguez. And he was a very generous man. He is a very generous man in every respect. And one of the ways was he's also very tenacious. Not a guy who gives up. And he said to me, "Hey Frank, I understand what you said, but this idea is still bugging me. So I want to fly you to Texas, and we'll just do a little test of just this little 2-page scene that you wrote, this little 2-page story that you wrote, and see if you like it. And if you don't like it, we'll just have a nice little short film with your short friends." And I got a couple of friends who play the parts. And I went there, he had everything ready to go, a fully equipped set. And the two friends were both really top-notch professional actors. And we shot my short story, The Customer's Always Right. That experience alone did it in a day, and I was completely sold, shook his hand, and we proceeded from there. Now, typical of Robert, this is a guy who does not waste a buck making movies, and that day's work is the opening Sin City movie. It's kind of the pre-credit that sets the stage for the whole movie to come. But I was hooked, and from then on, it was the adventure of a lifetime. And everything about my opinions of the movie industry, the possibilities of what to do with it, were completely transformed. I was wrong, right?
Your class assigned what the required readings were 4 comics, and you had to pick only 1 or 2. What would you pick?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Between those two?
Any. Save yourself. You're making it work. Yeah.
Well, one thing that comes to mind for me would be the very first 2 sans serif stories in The Spirit by Will Eisner.
Love that.
There's the total of the 2 together is 16 pages, but you get 2 dramatic units that joined give you a complete romantic romance and adventure all in one. That in a portrait of a fantastic world, that just happens to look like the best film along I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Good choice.
Actually, the comic that I'm a big horror fan. My first love was horror.
Same.
So the comic book, the story that really pops into my mind is Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, the anatomy lesson. I read it as I think I was in middle school, and it just completely blew my mind when he basically made Swamp Thing. It's not a human who thinks it's a plant; it's a plant who thinks it's a human. That just completely just like kind of like turned me sideways. And then the second book I read, a second collection book I would recommend is Frank's Dark Knight Returns, and I read that in 7th grade, and it just, it's kind of weird because I realized I was kind of growing out of the regular comic book, and I needed something that was more substance. And then Frank's Dark Knight Returns came out, and it just blew my mind away because with Watchmen, it's well written, but it was kind of boring to me. I just didn't get all the very subtle nuances and all that. But with Frank's Batman, it was like high opera. It was like just film noir, high opera, just infused into this just incredible drama. And it just caught me at that right age, and I was just like blown away by it. And he kind of like just really kind of started altering my taste in comics. So I started looking for more mature theme, more more serious, kind of like off the beaten path story instead of just two demigods slugging it out, So yeah, so Frank's, those two books I would recommend.
Solid choice. I do Mouse for sure. Oh, Mouse is great. That almost seems like a given that you should. I don't know why they didn't have that in the curriculum. Solid. And I would do Electra Assassin. Because Bill's work with Frank is just unbelievable. Has not been topped to this day.
A certain Mr. Sienkiewicz has been mentioned.
Oh yes.
In regard to that, I've got to testify that in working on Electra Assassin, that book changed so much in progress that we had to double its length. As I realized that I started out thinking that I was giving a blueprint and words to an illustrator, and I wound up writing Bucking Bronco into areas of terror and uncertainty and ridiculous humor. and the book ended up being 10 times what I ever dreamed it could be.
Actually, I really love the War, the Daredevil story.
Yeah.
It was absolutely fantastic.
Working with Bill is an astonishing experience.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty, that's a wrap. Thank you, Fan Expo. Shout out to you guys for giving me the opportunity. Again, I appreciate it. Hopefully next year I can do some more opportunities with you guys, more than just vlogs. Again, I have so much ideas. All I need is an opportunity to do them. Until next year, this is Kung Fu Eddy, BAYBEE. Shout out to all the cosplayers. Shout out to all the panels. Shout out to everybody I interview. I appreciate all of you guys. Until next time. Peace.